For the first one, let's find the volume. Now, the base of this one is the bottom, or the top, whichever one you want to look at, which is that shape. And it is rectangular with a quarter circle cut out of the corner. And you are correct, that is 18 inches by 12 inches. The other dimension we have is this one here is 14 inches. What does that make this one here?
8.
So yeah, this has to be 4 inches because the 18 minus the 4 is 14. So that means that becomes the radius of the circle. This also has to be 4 inches. And that is 8 inches there.
So in total, that would be 8 inches. Or if you're talking the
In total for
vertical
what?
side. Yeah.
Oh, it's 8 inches no matter what, or 4 inches no matter what direction it goes. It's a radius.
Yep.
So we have this is one where we have to do the bigger rectangle. So that rectangle is going to be 12 inches by 18 inches, which comes out to be what, 216 square inches?
18 by 12?
Yes.
I got 378. Oh, hang on. 216. You're right. Okay. I must have hit another button.
And then we have to subtract off the quarter circle. Well, that's pi times 4 squared. That would be a full circle. Then we divide by 4 to make it a quarter circle. That'd be 12.56 square inches, correct? So we subtract to get 203.44 inches. That's the area of our base. So how do we find the volume from that?
Oh, multiply that by 15.
203.44 square inches times 15 inches of height gives us 051.6, I believe. .6. I can tell myself. Inches cubed. There's our volume.
12.56 inches.
So that's pi times 4 squared divided by 4 because it's only a quarter circle. That's this little quarter circle of a corner missing. Now we know the area of the base. I'm going to make sure I circle that so I don't lose it. For surface area, we're going to have 2 of those, but let's find that lateral area. That's the surfaces that connect the base. What 2 things do we need to know for lateral area?
The circle and all the other.
Well, we need to know the height, which we have, that's the 15. And we need to know the perimeter of the base. So for the perimeter, we've got, if we look here, 14, 12, 18, and 8. Plus that quarter circle. Well, that quarter circle, it's pi times, where did the 8 come from?
8 is diameter.
Yeah, 4 is the radius, 8 is the diameter. Then, of course, divided by 4 because it's only a quarter circle. That gives us 6.28 is that quarter circle. So add those all up to get 58.28, I believe, is the perimeter of our base. 58.28 inches.
Multiplied by 15, no?
So then for our lateral area, yes. Take the perimeter of the base, 58.28 inches times that height of 15 inches, giving us a lateral area 874.2 square inches. And of course, what do we have to add to that to get the full surface area?
2 bases.
The two bases, the 203.44 and another 203.44. Which gives us
6.88.
1,281. You have to add, I'm not subtracting.
Yeah.
1,281.08 square inches for surface area. What do you think?
Oh.
More fun than a barrel of rabid monkeys?
Did they tell you what happened this morning?
Drop the transmission?
Yeah.
So it just went from
So,
0 to 100.
number
just
2,
boom.
we need to find the area of the base. The base here, of course, is this shape here. There's one on the back side, you can't see it here, but there's one on the back side that's identical to it. To find that area, once again, I'm going to start out with a rectangle. Well, here, let me draw that shape down below just to make it a little easier on us. So I'm going to start out with a rectangle. I need to know the size of that rectangle. This is 10 inches. What's this dimension?
8.
8 inches. So that is a 10 by 8 rectangle. 80 square inches.
And that's a right triangle.
Well, I need to subtract that triangle. This one here, it's missing. I need this height here. What is it? I know that this dimension has to be how much? Right, 4 inches.
Okay.
This is a diameter across here of 8 inches, right?
Oh,
That means
yeah.
the radius is 4. So if that's 4, this is 10 and this is 10, well, this end has to be 4. So both of them add up to 14. So this is 4 inches here. That's a triangle that's 8 by 4. So 8 inches by 4 inches by 2, 16 square inches. That has to be subtracted. So we're down to 64 square inches. What else do we have to do?
Find this area of our half circle.
Find the area of this half circle. Area of a circle is pi times
Radius squared.
radius squared. So what number goes into the area? 4. What do we have to do to that?
8 by 2.
Divide by 2 because it's only half a circle, or times 1/2, however you want to look at it. That gives us 25.12 square inches. So we add that to get 89.12 square inches. That is our base. Questions there? So volume, relatively simple. How do I find volume?
Area of the base multiplied by length.
Times the 16, right? Yep. 89.12 times 16 is 1425.92. Cubic inches. Surface area. We have the area of the bases right there. There's going to be 2 of those. We need lateral area. What 2 things do I need to know to find the lateral area?
Perimeter to
The height and the perimeter of the base. So I need the perimeter of this fun shape here. Well, I have 10 and 10. I have the half circle. How am I going to find that? Circumference. Pi times diameter, so pi times 8 divided by 2. 1.56. I need these pieces. How am I going to find those lengths? Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut that out there. The right triangle. What's this dimension?
9 or
4.
4 inches.
What's this dimension here?
4 inches.
4 inches. So that becomes square root of 4 squared plus 4 squared. Giving us 5.567. 5.66, we're going to call it, inches. So over here, plus another 5.66.
Times 2.
5.66. So it's going to give us a perimeter of that base of 43.88, I believe. Inches. You guys concur?
Yeah.
I think it's 43.88.
Yep.
So our perimeter of our base is 43.88 inches. How do we find our lateral area from that?
Times it by
The height, which is perfect, 702.08. That's our lateral area. So to get total surface area, what do I have to combine with that?
area of the base.
Area of the base is 8912. Have to add it twice because there's 2 of them. $88 or $870?
I got 880.
I got $870. Oh, it is 80. Never mind. It's carried 2 that one.
I'm gonna return this calculator for the message of that.
I should argue with the calculator. Not right after lunch. So what do you think? You guys think you can handle those calculations on your own if you had them on a test or a quiz, or
Possibly.
Each time they're going to be.
had to solve a problem to save your life?
I'm down. I'm dead. I'm dead. I think the only safe ones are Ashley and Katie.
Nope.
Yeah.
No. You thought the Saw movies were scary. Now you got into math.
Yeah, no joke. That'd be like that would be a really scary movie. Saw and then Math. Who will survive?
First one to solve the problem lives. The other one's done.
Carry the one or else.
Are you smarter than an 8th grader?
Are you sure that an 8th grader combined with Saw?
There you go.
8th graders constantly win because they have the answer sheet.
Saw just gives them the answer sheet.
Actually, let's make this more interesting. We can do better.
Let's not.
So this is what we call pyramid. Now we're going to deal with what we call right pyramids, which means this, the peak up here, that peak is above the center of the base, just to make it easier on us. So just like our other shapes we've looked at, we need to find volume and surface area. Let's start out with the volume. So to find volume, what did we start with when we were finding the volume of our other shapes?
Started with the base.
Area of the base. Guess what? We're going to start with the area of the base here too. How do we find the area of this base?
18 times 18.
The square, 18 inches times 18 inches. Otherwise known as 324 square inches. Now to find volume, then we took the area of that base times the height. But the problem here is this height doesn't go all the way through, it tapers to a point. If we were to think of it like a triangle, when we did the area of a triangle, we cut it in half, right? But here, if I cut it in half, I do not have a pyramid. If I were to cut this in half, like cutting it across there and across there, the shape I now have would be a wedge, wouldn't it? If I wanted to make that into a pyramid, I'd have to cut it some more. Right now, it would be half of the whole volume. But I need to cut off some more. I need to cut off this tip over here. Now it's, yeah. So what I just cut off was not half of what was there. So it's more than a fourth, and it's less than half. You're exactly right. It ends up being a third. So the volume of a pyramid is 1/3 of the volume of the whole box.
Oh.
So our volume, area of the base, times the height, divided by 3. So we have 324 square inches is the area of our base, times the height of 40 inches, divided by 3. Give us 4,096, something like that. 40,960
You said divided by 3?
divided by 3.
4320.
4,320?
Yep.
Inches cubed. That wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
So the key, and the way I always remember the dividing by 3, when we're talking about areas, we have a rectangle. To find the area of a triangle, we divide by 2 because it's 2-dimensional. When we're taking the volumes for a pyramid, we take the box and we divide by 3 because it's 3-dimensional. For surface area, there are 2 slight changes. One is there's only one base. It's only the area of one base. We already have that. The second change is our lateral area. Our lateral area is still the perimeter of the base, but it's not times the height anymore. In all of our other shapes, the lateral surfaces went straight from one base to another. Here, they go at an angle. So we don't need the height of the shape, we need the length of that slope, or that slant, up the side of the pyramid. We need the length from here to here going down the side of that. Does that make sense? That is called the slant height, or just the slant. We can find it rather easily. Drawing
I'm gonna say something, but
Go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
You got it.
I can find it easily.
Yeah, you got it.
It was easy.
No, it's-
This distance on bottom is half the length of the side because remember that point is in the middle. This is the height of 40. How do I find that slant?
40 squared. Or, yeah.
Which gives us that is 41 inches. Let's times that slant. Now, what shape are those lateral surfaces?
Triangles.
They're triangles, and we find areas of triangles, we divide by 2. So the lateral area changed up slightly. So now the perimeter of the base times the slant rather than the height. And it's divided by 2 because they're triangles.
41 times 8, or, whoa. Yeah, 41 times 8.
Perimeter of the base is 72, right?
Yeah, 18 times 4.
So 72 times the 41 divided by 2. Giving us 1,476 inches squared. And to that, we're going to add
Our base.
our base. Why did we only add it once?
Because it's only got one base.
Only one base. Add that on there, we get 1,800 square inches of surface area. What do you think?
Did you know the answer to that before you even solved it?
There's patterns in these numbers. Anybody need time to get that down, or are you guys all
Okay.
good? Let's talk about a cone. So let's say that this cone is, oh, how big do I want to go across there? Let's call it 12 inches. A little bit more, I suppose. Five inches. Obviously not drawn to scale. Tell me what to do. Find the volume. When we find volume, where do we always start?
Or the base. So
Area of the base. Pi times what will R be?
12 or 6
6 squared, good.
divided by
2.
That's
No.
113.04 square inches is the area of our base. What do you think we're going to do for volume?
the same thing we did for pyramid.
Exactly. Area of the base times
The height
the height of 35,
divided by 3.
3, because, again, it's three-dimensional. Just like the pyramid, we divided by 3, cones we divide by 3. So 113.04 times 35 divided by 3, 1318.8 cubic inches. There's your volume. Well, that's not bad at all, really, is it? Just got to remember to divide by 3. Let's talk about finding surface area. For our lateral area, we once again need the perimeter of the base. Perimeter of the base here is going to be the circumference of a circle, which is going to be pi times,
Radius squared.
that's area, pi times diameter for circumference.
Oh, 12.
Pi times 12. $37.68 inches is the perimeter of our base. And again, the surface goes at an angle. We need that slant. How do we find the slant?
35 right angle.
Yep, this is 35 inches.
That's 6.
This is 6 inches. Slant will be
Square
35
root
squared.
of
35 and 6.
Yep.
giving us 35.51 inches. Slant. Then what?
Take that and.
Here's 7.68 inches, the perimeter base, times the slant to 35.51 inches,
Going divided by 3.
divided by 2 because it's triangular shape. Area is two-dimensional, you divide by 2. Volume's three-dimensional, you divide by 3 for the volume, 2 for the area.
Oh, I get it now. It just,
Do you text?
Takes a while to remember it all.
We need tapes.
So we get 669.01 square inches of lateral area. What are we going to add to that? Base 113.04. Area of our base, giving us 782.5 surface area. What do you think? Anybody ready to cry? Anybody ready to snore?
Yeah, no shit. Every time.
I really wish I had an air horn right button.
I got an app I could probably pull up.
That's okay. So this, even though my drawing is horrible, is a sphere ball. Well, a sphere has no bases. It has no sides.
but I have.
To show you the formula for the area of the sphere, where it comes from, I have to do some calculus. I don't have time to teach you how to do calculus, and I don't want to just show it to you without you knowing how to do it, because what's the point? This is one of the few times I'm just going to give you a formula and tell you to accept it. The volume of a sphere, 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Surface area of the sphere is just 4 times pi times the radius squared. Now the radius cubed makes sense. A volume is a length cubed. The radius squared makes sense, and the area is a length squared. The 4/3 and the 4 those are the numbers that come from working with calculus, which those are the ones you're just going to have to accept. Let's tell you that this has a radius of 6 inches. How do I find the volume?
Put that in as radius 4/3 times pi times 6 cubed.
Perfect. 4/3 times pi times 6 cubed. So I just do 4 divided by 3 times 3.14 times 6 to the power of 3. 904.32 inches cubed. Not so bad.
In the class, I want you to go over there and just like.
For surface area, it's 4 times pi times 6 squared.
Oh, dude, I love.
So 452.16. So we are continuing with homework 40. Tomorrow we'll look more at composite figures that are combinations of these pieces put together. Next Monday we will start your final test.
Right.